Do you want to hide your most sensitive information, that is your database credentials and SMTP server details in your application config file? Then I am sure this video will definitely help. Hello friends, welcome back to my video tutorial. This is Lipsa again with you. So today I will discuss how you can encrypt your properties file attribute in Spring Boot application. Okay, so let's get started for this then. So here in this video I will describe about a Java library which is nothing but JASIP. Okay, so JASIP stands for Java Simplified Encryption. It is used to encrypt the properties file attribute. Okay, so it will help us to add basic information to our project with less effort. So with minimal configuration or with minimal coding, we can achieve this encryption logic. Okay, so let's see what are the steps to do this encryption. So see, this is my STS workspace. So here I have created a Spring Boot Maven project, that is Spring Boot with Swagger example. Okay, so this is the project. So here in this project I have some API endpoints. If I go to my controller package, then you can see I have a contact controller class. Okay, so inside this contact controller I have some endpoints. You can see to save the contact, to update contact by ID, and to fetch contact by ID, and to get all contacts, then to delete a particular contact. Okay, so these are my REST endpoints. Clear? So that means these REST endpoints are doing to save the data in your database, to update the data, or to delete the data, or to retrieve a particular data, or to retrieve all the data from the database. So that means this application is doing some operation with the database. Okay. So to connect this application with the database, we need some properties file. So if I go to my resource folder, here inside my application.properties file, you can see these are the database properties I have put inside my application.properties file. So this is nothing but your data source URL, what is your username and password, all those things I have put inside my application.properties file. So see, this username and password is a sensitive information. So it's not a best practice to save this password or username directly inside our application.properties file. So that's why we need to store the encrypted value of this actual password or actual username. Okay, so that's why we need the encryption logic. Clear? So here by using JavaScript, how we can do this encryption part. Okay, I have listed down some of the points. Let me go to that points. So mark here. The steps to be followed here. Add JavaScript Maven dependency to your form.xml file. So this is your JavaScript Maven dependency. Okay, JavaScript Spring Boot Starter, the version is 2.0.0. So to enable JavaScript inside your application, we need to add this JavaScript Maven dependency. Clear? So let me just copy this one. So you can find it from the internet. You just search for the JavaScript Maven dependency and you will get this one. Okay. So let me just copy it from here and add it inside my form.xml file. So if you are using a Gradle project, then you can also add the Gradle dependency. So here I just put the Maven dependency for JavaScript. Clear? So its building is going on. You can see here. Okay. Now my form.xml is ready. So let me just close this one. Then what is the next point? Next point is add annotation that enable encryptable properties to the main class. I will add this annotation in my Spring Boot main class. Okay. So let me just copy this annotation and go to my STS and open the main class. So Spring Boot with Swagger example application, this is my main class. So I will annotate this class or add this annotation enable encryptable properties to this class. Okay. So it just prompt me to import this property. Okay, so I have imported this one. Now this is ready. So what is my next step? So next step is decide a secret key used for encryption or decryption. So we need to decide a secret key which is used for the encryption logic, as well as we use this same secret key at the time of decryption as well. Okay. So in my case, I have chosen like, okay, choose Lipsa as a secret key. You can choose any secret key like ABC, XYZ, hello. You can choose anything. So in my case, I just assume my secret key is Lipsa. Clear? So third point is also clear. So what is the fourth point? Generate encrypted key using JavaScript online encryption. So this is a very easy technique. You just search for JustShift Online encryption and give your text which you want to encrypt, then generate the encrypted key. So for this, let me go to my browser and search for JustShift Online encryption. Okay, just hit enter. Please click on this link, JustShift Online encryption and decryption key. Please click on this one and you will get a interface like this. JustShift Online encryption. Okay, enter plain text to hash. So here you need to enter your text which you want to encrypt it. So in my case, let me choose like I want to encrypt this password. So I don't want to add the actual password inside my application.properties file. So I just need to encrypt this password. Okay, here in enter plain text to hash, I'll pass root. Okay, then select type of encryption. So here I'll choose two-way encryption with secret text. So I'll choose this one. Then the next tab is secret key to be used while encryption. So here in my case I have assumed okay my secret key is Lipsa. So I'll give here Lipsa. Okay, I'll give the secret key here as Lipsa. Then click here encrypt. So please click here. Then it will give me the encrypted string. Okay, this is my encrypted string. Clear? Next point. Next point is add the encrypted key in the properties or YAML file in the following format. So the generated encrypted key we need to add inside this ENC placeholder. Okay. So let me go to my properties file. Here I have the properties file. If you have the YAML file, also same thing. You'll pass the encrypted string inside the ENC. Okay. ENC nothing but placeholder. So ENC instead of the actual password, I'll give the encrypted password. So I'll pass like ENC, set this ENC, I'll give the generated encrypted string. What is my generated encrypted string? This one is the generated encrypted string. Just copy from here, copy and paste it over here. Clear? Up to point number 5 we have covered. Then our last point is pass the secret key to decrypt at runtime and run the application in usual manner. Okay, so we need to tell JustShift at the runtime, okay, take this secret key to decrypt the encrypted value. Okay, so for this we need to do either the point number A or the point number B. Okay, so we need to set -d JustShift.encrypted.password is equal to Lipsa as environment variable or VM argument, or we can add the below properties in the application config file. So I'll set the first one and try to run the application and let's see. And also I'll set the second point. So let me give the first thing. So what is the first point? First point is set this one as environment variable or VM argument. Okay. So let me go to my STS again. So just right click on this project and run configuration. So here you can see arguments. Here I'll pass the VM argument. So what is this VM argument? The VM argument is for this is -d JustShift encryptor password is equal to your secret key. In my case, my secret key is Lipsa. So I have given the secret key as Lipsa. So we need to give this secret key to decrypt at the runtime. Okay. So just copy from here and paste it over here. Okay. So I'll set the secret key here. Okay, at the runtime, it will decrypt my actual password. Okay, so you can see my application is up and running on 1990. Okay, so if I go to my browser and search for some of the endpoints I have created in this application. So as I integrate Swagger over here, I can keep the Swagger UI HTML here and check the endpoints. Then localhost 1990 plus Swagger UI.html. So if you don't know how to integrate Swagger in a Spring Boot application, please check my previous video. I have already described there. So here I have only one controller, this contact controller. I have these endpoints inside this application. Okay. So I will hit one endpoint over here and check whether my application is connected with my database with this encrypted password or not. Okay. So I will check this one, page contact by ID. Let's say page contact by ID. Try it out. I'll pass the ID over here. Let's say 2. Then execute. Okay. I'll get the response body. That means my application is connecting with my DB properly with this encrypted password. Okay, if I go to my console also, you can see the select query is firing. Clear? If I hit another endpoints also, let's say to fetch all the contacts, also I'll get the result. See, I'm getting the list of contact list. Clear? So that means by using this encrypted password, my application is able to connecting with my database properly. Okay. So also I have mentioned here I have set the VM argument to decrypt this password at runtime. Append is asleep.encrypted password. This is my secret. Also, I can add instead of adding this VM argument. Also, I can add these properties inside my properties file. Okay, and run the application. So let me just copy this one and show you also that one how you can do this. Let me remove this VM argument first. Right click, run as run configuration. Let me first remove this one. Okay, remove this VM argument from here, and I will add these properties to my application.properties file. Jasif.encryptor.password is equal to Lipsa. The Lipsa is nothing but my secret key to encrypt this actual password. So I need to pass the secret key at the time of runtime to decrypt it. Okay. So Lipsa is my secret key, I can say, my secret key. Okay. So by using this property also, if I run this application, it will able to connect with my database. Okay. Let me also try this out, whether it's working or not. Okay, so my application started at 1990. So by using these properties in my application.properties file also, I am able to connect to my database. So let me check the endpoints again, execute. Okay, here also I am able to get all the contact list. So that means by using these properties in my application properties file, also you can use it in your application.yml file to decrypt your password at the runtime. Okay, so that's it how you can actually refrain from adding the actual password in your properties file or YML file. Okay, so instead of using the actual password, you can use the encrypted value. So hope you understand how you can encrypt the properties file attribute in application.properties file or YML file. You can use the database password to encrypt the database password, or you can use to encrypt any secret key inside your application.properties file. You can use this logic. So that's it for today's video. Please subscribe my channel for more videos. Thanks for watching. Thank you.